Hi folks, it's me Cranky. So you guys probably thought I was gonna get some cigarettes. Well, turns out the machine is broken and Tulsa King just returned. So let's just hop on that, shall we? The last time we saw Dwight, he had just disposed of the triads and celebrated his victory along with his friends. Then he went to sleep and out of nowhere, agents knocked down his door and held him and Margaret at gunpoint. We're now at the start of season 3 and Manfredi is locked up at some black site. Mysterious guy named Musso is telling Dwight that he will work for the government now. All interesting stuff. They let him go, but want him to answer the phone whenever they call and do exactly as they say. It doesn't take long, and Dwight has to rush to New York. A prominent member of the mob wants to have a talk with him there. Once he arrives there, Dwight gets to see his grandkids, weird enough without his daughter. Wonder if she is avoiding him. After that, he meets the mobster in question, Quiet Ray. The guy wants to offer Dwight a piece of New York for him to run, since he feels that Manfredi got a bad deal after spending 25 years for them in jail. Dwight isn't interested, and the guy gets pretty on him, telling him to share his gains in Tulsa. All pretty cryptic. I just know though that this guy has trouble on the horizon, but nothing Bigfoot and the gang of misfits can handle. I mean, they got their own Hulk with this guy. It's ridiculous. In Tulsa, business is going slow. Mitch figures out firsthand he's better off behind the counter of a bar than a car dealership. Customers spot his sleaziness from miles away and simply take off, so he runs into an old colleague of his who tells him about her dad's distillery. Apparently, the family wants to sell it to a big bully they got on their back for generations, a certain Jeremiah Dunmeyer. Boy, if that isn't a cowboy name, then I don't know. Mitch takes the news to Dwight and pitches him buying the Montague?
Thought it was pronounced Caleb Dakota.
I'm pretty sure it's Decca too.
Montague? Family distillery to run instead of the dealership. Dwight agrees and pays Mr. Montague a visit. Am I stupid or did they forget about the car dealership? Do they just board it up and resell it for cheap? Been a major plot point last season and now they just throw it all away.
I don't care.
Shit, I don't care either.
Also, I think they're in way over their head. I get it that Dwight wants to build an empire, but he needs to think about getting some more reinforcements in the management department, like his sister, because neither Mitch nor Tyson got the brains to follow in his footsteps. It's all going downhill from there. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Dwight wants to end things with Margaret because he feels bad about constantly dragging her into danger. She doubles down though and wants to stay. Man, what a keeper. He didn't even have to apologize that hard to her. Way to go, Dwight. On top of that, Montague sells the distillery because his daughter and Mitch both convince him that he's better off selling it and the liquor license over to Dwight. Yet he tells him that Dunmeyer will react to this. Dwight disregards this and reassures him he will take care of it. Well, good making deals with Mr. Manfredi. He sure knows how to take care of his friends. I wonder how this will go down. A little later, Bodhi is tasked to bring a bag of cash and meet BB's man halfway to Kansas City. Remember? In season 2, Bill Bevilacqua signed a deal for 50% of Manfredi's earnings by shooting Cheeky in the head in front of him. Bodhi is hesitant but agrees and takes Tyson and Grace with him. A few miles before the destination, his electric car runs out of battery and they have to charge it. I can see Tommy Norris from Landman writing the script at the oil company and be like, I told you to get a gas car, nothing will replace oil, I can tell you that. Naturally, everybody including Dwight is furious about this, so Dwight starts what I can only call an Ocean's 11 weird split screen call with BB to tell him the news.
What the hell is that?
Damn. This takes the cake from last season's dress-up scene. Remember that one? What a weird scene. Don't get me wrong, I love it when Sly or the rest of the cast are horsing around, but please don't turn this into the Benny Hill show. Please? Anyways, BB's men arrive and Bodhi screws up again by handing them the wrong bag with comic books in them. So the leader of the henchmen is furious and decides to drive back to the weed shop to collect the cash himself. At this point I knew something was up. Bodhi is a nerd, but he knows business, so he takes him to the cache and pulls a gun on him. Bodhi brings up that the guy killed his best friend, Jimmy the Creek, back in season 2, and he makes him apologize for it. Look at the big balls on Bodhi. I didn't know he had it in him. I wonder if he knows though that they only shot Jimmy because Tyson went berserk earlier in front of BB's house and killed one of their men. If at all, he should take it out on Tyson. And speaking of him, this guy hasn't learned a thing. You would think he had this humbling experience last season, but no. He's still ignorant and ballsy as ever. Lastly, Jeremiah Dunmire shows up at the Montague's house. So they casted Robert Patrick in this. Boy, he's the new bad guy in everything these days.
You always play the bad guy on these shows?
Yeah.
Sheridan is known to reuse cast, and Patrick is a good actor for sure, but it sure wouldn't hurt to see somebody else for a change. And sure enough, Dwight didn't send anybody to guard the old man. He didn't even close the door behind him. Jeremiah Dunmire waltzes in and gives Montague a speech before his son and his goons beat the hell out of him and burn his house to the ground. And that wraps it up for the first episode of Season 3. Alright, so I think this gives us a solid idea of what this season will be all about. Dwight having a government guy breathing down his neck can bring a new dynamic between him and the crew. I also like that they went with Bodhi trying to get back at BB's men for their hit on Jimmy. It's nice to see some development of his character. On the other hand, I hated the weird split screen. That shit threw me way off. Also, they didn't go anywhere with Tyson's character. It started out promising in Season 2. He almost lost his dad, his family wanted to cut ties with him, and on top of that, he took a step into a serious crime by killing the head of the Triads. After all of that, you would think the guy would take it down a notch and be a little more reserved and calculating. Nope, it looks like he's in for another lesson. Anyways, I'm looking forward to the next episode, and for all of you to show up and react along with me. Thank you for staying this long till the end of this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you'll know when I crank out another video. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.